In the Eastern tradition, there is a strict rule: never share 5 kinds of plans, not even with your closest ones. Breaking this rule, the sages say, condemns your undertakings to failure. Let me tell you an ancient Arab parable about a merchant who received this wisdom from his father on his deathbed, but did not heed it and paid a terrible price. In a prosperous trading city lived a wise merchant named Yusuf. His caravans crossed deserts, and his word was valued like gold. He was wealthy and successful in all his ventures. But one day, when illness confined him to his bed, he called for his only son, Ahmed, and spoke with him for a long time in private. What exactly the old merchant said was known only to father and son, but he spoke for a long while, earnestly, holding his son's hand in his own. When Ahmed came out of the dying man's room, the relatives asked, "What did your father tell you?" Ahmed shrugged. Some old superstition. Something about not talking about plans. I didn't quite understand, to be honest. He was young and naive. He believed that successful people should be open, share their plans, seek advice. Father is just old-fashioned, Ahmed thought. Times have changed. The next day, Yusuf died, and within a week, Ahmed had already forgotten his father's words. A year later, Ahmed conceived a great enterprise: to trade in rare spices from distant eastern lands. It required all his savings, but could triple his fortune. Filled with enthusiasm, he gathered his friends and relatives for dinner and proudly declared, "My friends, listen, I've come up with a brilliant business. In half a year, my ships will return with the rarest spices. I'll become the richest merchant in the city. Can you imagine the fortune I'll make?" His eyes shone. He gestured excitedly, describing his plan in detail. His uncle frowned. "Nephew, this is madness. The sea is dangerous. Pirates, storms. You'll lose everything your father left you." His childhood friend shook his head. "Ahmed, it's too risky. Don't rush." And a cousin, who dreamed of wealth himself but had no money, went the next day to Ahmed's main competitor. For a small fee, he revealed every detail of the merchant's plan. The competitor acted quickly. He sent out his ships first, bought up all the goods from the suppliers, and seized the market. When Ahmed's ships finally arrived with their spices 6 months later, the market was already flooded. No one wanted the goods. He sold them at a loss and lost half of his father's inheritance. Sitting alone in his empty warehouse among sacks of unsold spices, Ahmed suddenly remembered. He remembered how his father had held his hand on his deathbed and said, "My son, the first rule: never speak of the money you intend to earn. Stay silent about your financial plans until the coins jingle in your purse." "No," he thought, "it's just bad luck. A coincidence." Father couldn't have foreseen this. Time passed. Ahmed rebuilt part of his fortune through hard work. Then he met a girl named Layla, the daughter of a humble weaver. She was beautiful, wise, and kind. They fell in love at first sight. Ahmed was so happy that he couldn't keep it to himself. He told his mother, sisters, friends, even his neighbors, "I'm going to marry Layla. She will be my wife. In a month, I'll ask her father for her hand. There's no beauty like her in the whole city." He spoke of her everywhere, showed the house he had chosen for their future family, described what the wedding would be like. His mother, who had dreamed of a wealthy bride from a noble family, began to dissuade him every day. "My son, her family is poor. You, a merchant's son, deserve a better match. Think of your children. What dowry will she bring? His sisters, envious of Layla's beauty, whispered to him, "She's too beautiful. She must have many admirers. Such women are never faithful. Don't trust her." And his mother's friend, who loved gossip, went to the market to see Layla's father, and with feigned concern said, "Neighbor, did you know that Ahmed recently lost half his fortune in a failed venture? He's no longer the rich merchant his father once was." When a month later Ahmed came with gifts to propose, Layla's father met him coldly. "Merchant Ahmed, I've heard things about your affairs. My daughter deserves stability and security. I'm sorry, but I must refuse." 2 months later, Layla was married off to the son of a wealthy textile trader. Ahmed wept all night, and once again, through his tears, he remembered his father's voice. "The second rule, my son, never speak of the woman you intend to marry. Keep your love secret until you place a ring upon her finger. Words of love attract envy, and envy kills happiness." At his father's deathbed, these words had seemed strange. Now they burned in his soul. Twice, he whispered in the darkness, "Can it really be coincidence?" But pride would not let him admit that his father had been right, and he had been foolish. Several years passed. Ahmed worked tirelessly, avoided risky ventures, and acted with great caution. His business began to flourish once again. He had saved enough to buy the house of his dreams, a beautiful mansion on a hill overlooking the city and the mountains. The seller had already agreed. All that remained was to sign the documents and transfer the money in a week's time. "This time I'll be careful," Ahmed thought. "I won't tell anyone." But during a conversation with an old friend he'd trusted all his life, he couldn't hold back. "See that mansion on the hill? The one with the garden and the fountain? In a week it'll be mine. I've already made a deal with the owner, just a few formalities left." The friend sincerely congratulated him and patted him on the shoulder. But at home, his friend's wife, who had overheard the conversation, turned green with envy. All her life she had dreamed of a house on that hill, yet they still lived in a cramped home in the city center. The next morning, without telling her husband, she went to the seller. "Sir, I heard you're selling your house to Ahmed. My husband is ready to pay 20% more. Sell the house to us instead." Seeing the profit, the seller didn't hesitate to break his verbal agreement with Ahmed. A week later, when Ahmed arrived with the money, the seller coldly said, "I'm sorry, merchant, but the house has already been sold to another buyer." Ahmed stood there on the hill, looking at the house that was supposed to be his, and tears streamed down his face. Then, like an echo from the past, his father's voice resounded in his memory. "The third rule: never speak about the house or property you plan to buy. Buy in silence. Own openly. Speak of a purchase only when the keys are already in your pocket." Ahmed fell to his knees 3 times. "God, could everything my father said truly be real? But I didn't want to believe." Fear crept into his heart. His father had spoken of 5 rules. 3 had already come true. 2 remained. After so many losses, of wealth, of love, of the home of his dreams, Ahmed turned to faith. The world seemed cruel and unjust. He sought comfort in prayer. He made a decision. He would go on a pilgrimage to Mecca. He would purify his soul, ask forgiveness for his pride, and find peace by the Kaaba. This decision filled his heart with light. For the first time in years, he felt genuine joy. And so, after the Friday prayer at the mosque, when the congregation gathered in the courtyard, Ahmed stood and said, "My brothers, I wish to share joyful news. In 2 months I will go on Hajj. I will make my pilgrimage to Mecca and pray by the Kaaba for all of you, for our city, for our children." People congratulated and embraced him. But in the corner of the courtyard stood a man named Hassan. He too had dreamed of pilgrimage for many years, but was poor and could not afford it. Envy flared in his heart, though he tried to suppress it. "Look," he whispered to those nearby. "Ahmed proclaims his pilgrimage to the whole mosque. Does a true believer boast of his pious deeds? Did not the Prophet teach us to do good in secret?" Another man nodded. "Indeed. He only does it to be seen as righteous again, after all his failures." Rumors spread. Within days, the whole city was whispering. These words reached Ahmed, and worse, they sowed doubt in his own heart. Am I truly going for the sake of Allah? Or did I want people to respect me again, to forget my failures? His intention was poisoned. The purity of his purpose vanished. Ahmed cancelled his pilgrimage. That night, lying in darkness, he remembered his father's 4th rule. "My son, the 4th rule. Never speak of your pilgrimage, your prayers, or any spiritual practices you plan to do. The path of the Spirit is a road between you and the Almighty. When you announce it to others, you open the door to pride and hypocrisy. Do for God, silently." Ahmed cried out into the darkness. Four times father was right. Terror gripped him. Only one rule remained, and he remembered clearly. There was a 5th. But what was it? Months passed. Ahmed was broken, subdued, afraid to do anything at all. One day, walking through the marketplace, he saw a 10-year-old orphan boy. The child was begging, but there was sharp intelligence in his eyes and dignity even in his poverty. Something stirred in Ahmed's heart. "I have no wife, no children," he thought. "I'll take this boy in. I'll give him an education, teach him trade, raise him as my son. I'll make him my heir." For the first time in a long while, he felt warmth in his chest, a genuine desire to do good. He brought the boy home, washed him, dressed him in clean clothes, fed him, and then his old habit took over. He called together his relatives, his uncle, aunt, nephews, and solemnly declared, "My dear family, meet Omar. He is my adopted son. I will educate him and make him my heir. He will continue our family's legacy." Silence fell. Then Ahmed's uncle turned red with anger. "What? You would give our family's inheritance to a street beggar?" His aunt shrieked. "This is disgraceful. A shame to our bloodline, to take in a filthy orphan," the nephews whispered among themselves, glaring at Ahmed with hatred. "He's robbing us of our inheritance for the sake of a stranger." The persecution began. Reproaches, quarrels, gossip spreading through the city. The relatives united against Ahmed and the boy. The child cried at night. Ahmed could no longer bear it. He gave Omar some money, arranged for him to become an apprentice to a good craftsman in a nearby town, but renounced the adoption. The good deed was destroyed. And that evening, as Ahmed watched the boy leave the city, he remembered the final, 5th rule his father had taught him. "And lastly, my son, never speak of the charity or kindness you intend to do. If you wish to help, help silently. Let not your right hand know what your left hand is doing. When you announce your good deeds, you invite envy toward your generosity and expose the need of the one you're helping. Do good in secret, and your reward will be great. Ahmed collapsed to the ground and wept. All 5 rules, all 5 mistakes. His father had been right in everything. Ahmed went to his father's grave, fell face down and cried, "Forgive me, Father. You gave me the greatest treasure, the wisdom of ages. But I, foolish, arrogant youth, laughed at your words. You warned me of 5 dangers, and I stepped into every one of them. I lost my wealth because I boasted of it. I lost my love because I flaunted it. I lost my house because I spoke of it. I lost my faith because I showed it off. I lost the chance to save an orphan because I announced my kindness. Each time you were right, every single time. Forgive me, Father. Forgive me." That night, Ahmed saw his father in a dream. The old man smiled softly, sadly. "My son, I am not angry with you. Youth always thinks the wisdom of elders is superstition. I too once ignored my father. That is why I told you. You had to learn it for yourself. Now you understand. Now this knowledge is no longer mere words. It is burned into your heart by pain. Such wisdom is never forgotten. Rise, live anew, work silently, love secretly, buy discreetly, pray in solitude, give unseen. Guard your plans as your greatest treasure. Let them be known only to you and the Almighty. And when your work is done, then, if you wish, share your joy. Go, my son, and pass this wisdom to your children, though they too will likely not listen. Such is human nature." Ahmed awoke in tears. From that day on, he was forever changed. He never again, under any circumstances, spoke of his plans. He worked in silence and became rich. He met another woman, loved her quietly, and married her. He saved money silently and bought a home even grander than the one he had lost. He went on pilgrimage to Mecca, and no one knew until he returned. He secretly found Omar and 2 other orphans, gave them education and shelter, but no one learned of it until Ahmed's death, and his life became happy. Before he died, he called his son and spoke with him for a long time in private about the 5 rules, which, of course, his son did not follow. Friends, if you enjoyed the video, please support it with a like and a subscription. Your support means a lot to us.